Well, welcome. Hello. How are we all doing? It is a Saturday morning here. I have my coffee. Well, not much left, but you know, we must have a coffee when we're talking about very adult things. So, welcome to a brand new series. I'm not going to call it a series because you know what I'm like. This is Adulting with Aly, where once a month I will try and keep this. If you want this series, I will enjoy this series and we shall keep doing it. That is a fact and I'll try and promise to do that. I'm growing up. I'm almost 30. I'm going to be 30 this year. And I am lost in a minefield of things that we should have been taught in school and yet we weren't. Mortgages, credit scores, things like that. So, this is a series where we are going to sit down and I don't have all the answers, but I am going to take you along the journey of me trying to find the answers, and I want these videos all to be about the comment section. I really want everyone to go hard in those comment sections and for it to be a place where we can inform each other, talk about each other's experiences, give each other advice, okay? So, we have a notebook specifically for this series. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee, excuse me. And that camera angle feels very low. May I adjust? Thank you, darling, you're very considerate. Oh, that is much better, yes. I feel like I can be a little bit closer to you now. So, January. Adulting with Aly, episode 1, Lego. So Scott and I have been talking about getting a mortgage because we don't want to rent forever. Renting is pretty much just burning money, but it is a necessity before you get on the property ladder, so we want to put a real strong game plan into action. Where do I even begin with all this? We are not taught about mortgages. Now, Scott has for a while. He's the very smart one when it comes to this. He thinks about investment and business very different, and he's very inspiring. He was like, we should buy a flat. Not necessarily to live in, but to get onto the property ladder, buy a 50, 60, 70 grand flat, 1-bedroom flat, and rent it out. Rent it out so that can cover our mortgage payments, and bang, we're on the property ladder, much lower mortgage, much lower deposit, more chance of getting on the property ladder, and from there we can expand. And I was always like, no, because I want to live in the house that we first buy. And a lot of people do this and that's fine. But for us, being both self-employed, and yes, we'll get a state pension, which won't be enough to live off, so we're really trying to think of money for the future, like real long-term future now, because it's now or never, we got to start thinking about it. I would love to have property and have equity in property, so when I hit 60 that we can sell or pull out money from the equity in our investments. But I always thought we'd go along we rent and then we buy a small house and that will be our first house and we'll live in it, and then we'll upscale to a bigger house. And so I was like, it is so hard for first-time buyers to get on the property ladder, and especially if you want investments, that's not really how it's going to work. That's not the smart way to go about it. So he was telling me what he's read, and I'm kind of in agreement. So that's an option. We'll come back to that. We'll circle back to that. That is kicking off a lot of black smoke. Hello? Good God, look at that flame. Are you okay? Never mind. So anyway, yes, I was looking into mortgages. How we get a mortgage. For one, you need a good credit score. Now you can get a mortgage with a bad credit, not a bad one, but a lower credit score, but that affects your interest rates of what you're paying back. So I was like, okay. So I checked my credit score. I did a soft check, so nothing got affected. I think I did it on, no, not Money Supermarket. What is the one? Money Saving Expert, something like that. It was a soft search, I think through Expedia, who actually did it. And I have a neutral credit score. I don't have any bad credit. I don't have any great credit. It's a neutral credit score. I'd probably be approved. I mean, I got a phone contract and things like that. So if they pull up my credit score for something average and normal, I'd get approved for it. Nothing wild though, especially not a mortgage. If I did, I can't imagine what the interest rate would be. Now, thing is, I was like, okay, how do I increase my credit score? And do you know how you increase a credit score? By getting into debt. Let's have some real talk now. I experienced debt. I know what debt and bailiffs and things like that look like from my childhood. I know what debt does to people, what it does to a family, what it does to people's lives. And I was adamant that I would never get into debt that wasn't necessary. When I say necessary, I've got a student loan, but that's counted as good debt. You know what I mean? You get a mortgage, it's a good debt. I don't want credit cards, I will never buy things on finance. I've always had the mentality, if I can't afford it, I don't have it. When we moved into this house over a year ago, I mean, we're still not fully like where we want to be, because a home takes so long to, you know, pull together and make it really your home. And as you can see, especially if you've been following the journey on social media and stuff like that, we're slowly getting there and making it really like a cozy home. But I could have easily walked in and gone into, what is it, those websites where you can buy loads of furniture and you pay it off monthly. It would never cross my mind. Never crossed my mind when I dropped my camera into a lake in Belize it was last year, no, it was the year before. My God, time flies. I could have easily like gone on and be like, no, let's get a super good camera that's like over £1,000, because I really need to upgrade my camera game and get a better one, and then we'll just put it on finance because I don't have that much money to spend, like just outright throw it out of my bank. But I didn't. What I did was I went onto Amazon, I purchased the exact same camera that I had before for about 300 quid. I was like, this camera's great, it gets my message across. Here we go. And I can afford that, and I can pay it outright, and I'm happy and comfortable with that expenditure. I spent my whole life not getting into debt because of that mindset. However, now I was like, right, so I need some debt, because basically your credit score is showing a lender later on down the road that you can handle debt well. So they want to see a past history record of years of you borrowing and repaying on time. And they want you to have that good credit score. Like, she's been in debt. She's borrowed money before and she pays it back on time. She is great. She's a trusted borrower. Or borrower. Just imagine a really tiny little person buying their first little house, like a shoebox. Anyway, if you've seen the film, you'll get it. So I was like, okay, credit cards. Right. Let's do credit cards. Because then I can just, I was saying this to Scar, I was like, well, I should be booking all of my travel stuff on a credit card. Anyway, it's silly that I haven't been. Accepting my flaws and my faults. But then I can just pay the balance off straight away. And Scar was like, no, that's not how credit works. You need to set up monthly repayments. Doesn't have to be the bare minimum, but you can't just pay it off because that won't give you any good credit. I was like, right, like you need like over however many months and then just pay it off on time every single month. I was like, but I don't like that. I don't like having that debt. I was like, so okay, so I'll have to, if say I buy a £500 flight, for example, all right, I'll just put that money aside so I know that it's always there and it's out of my mind, because I like, if I'm gonna buy something, then it's out. And I can 100% afford it at that time. I don't want to use a credit card to buy things that I wouldn't buy normally on a debit card or my cash card. Am I making sense? I really hope I am. This is just a bit of a ramble. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to pull that money aside then. He was like, yeah, you can't just pay it off because that won't give you a good credit score. I was like, damn, so I need to go into debt, and the thought terrifies me of doing that, even though I can pull that money aside, that £500, and make sure it's there so I can pay off that credit card and yada yada. And then build up my credit score. So that's something I'm gonna have to do. So I need more debt. Isn't that hilarious? I could go in 5 years' time to a mortgage lender and be like, look, I've had zero debt. Like, I'm really good with money. And they'll be like, that doesn't show us you're good with money. It's like, but I don't want debt. Why are you making me go into debt? Oh, it just gives me so much anxiety. I also found a thing which I really want to share with you. It's called the rental exchange. Now, I haven't signed up for this yet because basically your rent doesn't go towards your credit score. If you're in a rental property and you're paying rent on time every single month like we do, no missed payment, always just comes out, you know, standing order, direct, whatever, from your bank, you pay your rent. There is something called the rental exchange, which I really need to get onto, and that is something, I'll link it down below, have a little read, where you paying rent on time actually can increase your credit score. Because the past year, obviously, we've been paying every single month on time, and that could have been going towards our credit score. So that could help, but I haven't done it yet, but I'll link it down below for you. I have a 5-year mortgage plan. Scott and I decided, right, it could happen way before that, or it could happen way after that. But giving ourselves a chunk of time that it has to happen in as a deadline is good. You know, it's really good. Like with your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, you need to write them down and you need to look at them every day for them and to start, you know, manifesting, so you can start taking action on doing it. So I set up a little savings goal on my online banking, and we both want to save 10 grand each to put down on a deposit. I just literally was down in the kitchen making this, and I told my Google Home to play me the news so we could see what's going on in the world. All very depressing. And actually something came up about first-time buyers. So a first-time buyer deposit on average in the UK, just the deposit, for first-time buyers in the UK in 2019 was £46,000. Who has that money? Even between two of you, that's 23 grand each. And here's us, like, oh yeah, 5-year plan, save 10 grand each. I mean, probably with the average, it's taking, you know, some extremes, unless it did take out the outliers. But, you know, maybe people were going for the 150, 200 grand house, like house, whereas we'd be looking at a flat. But then we come back to this. It feels like I'm just having a chat with a friend. I can't wait to read your comments on this, because like any advice, please, and any links, leave them down below. This is the problem. Do we go for buying the, say, 60 grand flat to get us onto the property ladder, 20 grand deposit, so a 40 grand mortgage, something we'd be accepted for, put it through an estate agency, because I have no want or desire to be the front man of doing the day-to-day things, so factoring all of their expenses in, but letting basically tenants pay off our deposit on it, and getting good, we'll do private letting probably, and get good tenants in, hopefully, you know, let them pay off the mortgage. But then it came into my mind, like, okay, so my big plan at the end is to, this is my vision, we're 50, 55, 60. I want to be living in a house, a nice house by that point, that is ours. We might still have a mortgage on it, but hopefully not, our house. But I also want to have other properties that I have equity in, either I'm still paying a mortgage off or I own outright. It feels like when someone says, we own a house, it's like, well, have you paid off the mortgage? Because to me, until you get that deed, you don't really own the house, if that makes sense. Like, no, the bank kind of still owns the house. So that would be my plan, to have a house that we own outright, that we live in, but have equity in other property, multiple other properties that we can be renting out, buy and sell, and things like that. So when it came to it, that would be our retirement money. But when I think about that out loud, that seems like, well, what if we can't sell it? You know what I mean? We're gonna need other things to do. I mean, it's a lot to think. So if we go for the whole buying a flat thing, okay, that's great, but then we're still renting. Or do we save a larger deposit, move us into a 2-bedroom house, nothing fancy. I mean, this house, we don't know how much it's worth, but something like this, it could probably be a bit smaller, probably not as well maintained. I mean, when we rented this house, it's so nice. It's like so well done. The kitchen was pretty much brand new. We know we love the kitchen here. Everyone loves it. Everyone walks out the kitchen, they're like, oh, I love this kitchen. I know, it's a nice kitchen. That black tile, girl. Oh God, I need coffee just thinking about this. So, do we then move in? Like, how do you get that multiple property? How do you start? Now, if you know of a YouTuber called Patricia Bright, I was watching her video this morning. Her second channel, I'm addicted every single video I'm watching. The Break platform, I will link her down below. She's a massive YouTuber. She started the second channel because she's got basically 4, I think she said, 4 investment properties. And in this video, she's like, visit my £450,000 investment property in London. That's just one. It's either one of 3 or one of 4. She's got loads, and she also owns her own home. She's like businesswoman, CEO of her own business. Like, she is goals. She's goals. I don't think she's even 30 yet. Like, she is gold, but she is so real. She breaks it down for you. She doesn't, you know, she did a video where she says, here's my 65K a year salary that she pays herself from her business. And she showed you where every bit of her money went in a video, in a spreadsheet. Like, that kind of realness that we love around here. Like, completely transparent. This is how much this cost. This is how much my investment will be. This is how much I'm gonna make back. This is how much I earn from this salary. This way, yada, yada, yada. And she's gonna do videos about how to get onto the property ladder soon and really like go into finances, investment, and I am so there for it. So there for it. She is like a boss, like the living definition of a businesswoman. Like, oh my God, so inspiring. So yeah, this isn't an informational series necessarily, but if you want me to do this where we're all clueless, but we're all figuring it out at the same time, and if you want me to sit down, I'll make notes like every month of things that I'm considering or looking into, and we can do updates, and they might not all be this serious, could be businessy, I don't know. But if you want me to do videos like this regularly where we sit down and do some adulting and try and figure things out and have the community down below, then we can go there and ask people questions and have a conversation and we can all figure it out together. If you like this, please let me know. It's not like I'm Patricia who can give you the answers. She can give you the answers. So if you want that, go and check out her channel. But yeah, I thought I'd document the process of not knowing what the fuck you're doing and all figuring it out together. So yeah. My biggest thing that I would like to ask you while I'm trying to increase my credit score is, how do you do it? How do you start by I'm renting to, I own multiple houses. Do you move into a place that you buy and then get a second mortgage, which obviously what I've read comes with a much higher deposit, much more stringent checks on you, because obviously they gotta see, like, okay, it's not just saving money, I need to make sure that our yearly earnings are going up and up and up to do this kind of thing, and that is in the plan as well. It's like, where do you start? Do you buy an investment property while you rent just to get on the ladder, but then you're burning money renting, and it's, help. I could do with some help, and if you've had this experience, then please let me know. Apparently it's just a massive headache. Mortgages, buying, then selling. Apparently that is just like a whole different ball game, trying to sell your house, move house, and lots of terms and stuff that I need to learn. We're all gonna learn it together. So let's have a conversation down below. I can't wait to hear what you think and get any suggestions, and ask away. If you have any questions that I didn't ask them down below as well. We can all get together and figure this life stuff out. All right, loving, leaving. Don't forget Instagram and Twitter. Let's be real, those are the only two that I actually use every single day. Subscribe, hit the bell so you're always notified of new videos that are coming up, because YouTube is hopeless. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. All right, loving, leaving. Gonna see how much debt I can get into now to hopefully get a mortgage one day. It's just a bizarre statement, isn't it? Really bizarre. Anyway, bye.